Hey everybody, this is Matthew with Forging Your Legend, where we help people turn their toughest battles into the greatest legends. And today I want to talk to you about the 4 horsemen of staying stuck. Before I do that though, hit subscribe, like, share, follow, or leave a comment, or whatever the case may be. Thank you so much. Now, there are a lot of reasons why people get stuck and stay stuck on this journey. And if this list were the 20 horsemen of staying stuck, I could come up with 20 or 50 or 100. But these are like the core 4 that I feel you need to understand. And if you understand these, you'll go a long way toward getting unstuck and healing. And then after we talk about these 4, I'll talk a little bit about what you can do instead. So the first one is victimhood, not claiming your power. And victimhood has a lot of different faces. I'm not going to get into every detail of it here, but it's basically the mentality of life happens to me and there's nothing I can do about the things that are happening to me. Now, that doesn't mean you're always going to be able to control everything, but if you find yourself in any way believing that you're powerless, that you can't, that it's somebody else's fault, that there's no way out, etc., that's victimhood. And victimhood is one of the surest ways to stay stuck. Number 2 is a lack of consistency, and that applies to a number of things, but especially your practice. Whatever you choose to do, it's less about exactly what you do than that you choose something that helps you and you do it consistently and for a long enough period of time. So many people quit early, or they're very erratic about the things that are going to get them unstuck. And there's a lot of reasons for this, but the bottom line is you have to stay consistent. If you can't establish any kind of consistency, it's going to be hard to get unstuck. The third horseman of staying stuck is fear. Fear of any sort. Now, fear can come in a lot of forms, and I'm not saying it never has a place. I'm not saying it's never reasonable to be afraid, but most of the time we're talking about fear that is excessive, fear that is unwarranted, or fear that needs to be met and handled instead of allowed to run the show. And the fourth horseman of staying stuck and not healing or transforming is lacking any kind of purpose or connection to your authentic self or God. So I kind of smashed a couple into one there, but essentially what I'm saying is you need to know what you're here for. And before you get worried and say, well, I don't know what I'm here for, I don't know what my purpose is, that's okay. Just opening the door in the smallest ways to what might be my meaning right now, what might be my purpose, what might be God's plan for me right now, just in the smallest ways, that can be enough. And same thing with the authentic self or connecting to God. It can happen in the smallest, simplest, most baby stepping kind of way. And that can be enough. But if you don't have any of that whatsoever, if you have no connection to any kind of purpose whatsoever and no idea what your authentic self feels like, it's going to be challenging to move forward from there and get unstuck. So with that said, let's turn to what you can do. First off, you need to claim your power to the extent that you can. This will be a process. It's not going to happen overnight. So you do what you can, you control what you can control in a healthy way, and you let go of what you cannot control. You do this over and over, and maybe you start out at 1% that you can control and 99% that feels like it's out of your control. Fine, start there. That's enough. Your sphere of influence will grow over time as you work on this. Second thing, develop a practice and be consistent with it. I don't care if it's 5 minutes a day of one thing that feels helpful to you. If you can start that and be consistent, that's a good start. You can build from there. You just have to realize that it's more valuable in 99% of cases to just get started with something, develop the confidence that you can do it every day, and then gain more from there than it is to try to do it all, try to be quote unquote perfect, and then get frustrated or overwhelmed and quit. Rather you be consistent with something small and build than try to do too much and not be able to do it. Anything that you can start with is better than nothing, because anything above 0 compounds over time. Third thing, the antidote to fear is trusting God and taking action. And I've often asked myself the question, okay, if I'm feeling afraid, what is this fear asking me to do? Because it's usually either going to be an action I need to take or a perspective shift. Either one of those is fine, or sometimes it's both. As you gain more awareness of yourself, as you gain more confidence in your ability to act or shift your state, you'll have more trust in yourself as well. So you trust yourself, trust God, trust life, trust that there's a reason that you're here, that God has a beautiful plan for your life, even if it doesn't make sense right now. And realize that fear most of the time is either not based in reality or it's something that you will be able to handle. Rarely is there a fear that is based in reality and something that's truly beyond your ability to handle, especially when you have God's help with that. And finally, the fourth piece of advice would be, as I mentioned earlier, finding some kind of purpose, even if it's a tiny little thing, even if it feels like it can't possibly be your purpose because it's too insignificant. Nothing's too insignificant. It could be that your purpose right now is to smile at whoever you come across because you are here to bring joy. Just giving you one simple example. There's nothing too small to be meaningful. And right along with that, purpose and your authentic self go together. So start down the process, start down the path of seeking your authentic self and what that looks like. Some of that's going to be connected to who you are in God's eyes. Some of it's going to be just about your feelings and your alignment, so to speak. And that's a big topic, but I'll just say, start by asking yourself questions about, what do I like? What do I not like? What feels good to me? What doesn't feel good to me? Where's my yes? Where's my no? What are my boundaries? What would feel really good right now? There's a lot of detail to that, and I can't get into all of it here, but start down that path of asking yourself, what's my authentic self? What does that look like living out in the world? What does that look like in my head? And again, like purpose, small baby steps are fine. Just get started. Because without your authentic self, there's no way to heal. It's impossible. With your authentic self, even stutter stepping and, going on tangents and not always sure where to go, you will find the way. So with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, share this with somebody who you might think could benefit from it. And you can always reach out to me for more. ForgingYourLegend.com, here to help you if you need some extra assistance. So I hope you have an amazing day. Make it a beautiful day. I believe in you. Take care of yourself. Till soon.